Let's imagine now we're out in the real wild and woolly West, because we're about to see a wild and woolly, true, real, authentic, old-time Western prairie show. You seem to love fashion shows on our program, but this one should be very much meaningful and very much fun, and it's coming to us compliments of the new Frontier Town. And I want to ask Ken Delafrange, who's the owner of Frontier Town. What are we about to feast our eyes upon, Ken?
Joe, right now you're going to see some of the fashions that folks would see at Frontier Town. We have a village that depicts what folks might expect to see if they were alive back in the 1800 through 1880 era.
This is our history. This is our Americana, right?
Yes, it is, Joe.
Where is Frontier Town?
Frontier Town is located in between Lake George and Lake Placid in the Adirondack Mountains.
Is that what you call a theme park? A theme park, is it?
Yes, we're themed around the area of 1800 to 1880, 1890. We have a lot of unique items there. We have a trip hammer that they made the armor plating for the bonnet of warship with.
Pull up that hat a little bit so we can see more of you, a tiny bit more. Okay. That's the boy. You know, the fashion world always keeps looking for something new, right? They travel the world to discover some new directions, but I think what's old could sometimes be the best of the new discoveries, right?
That's true, Joe. I think a lot of what you're going to see here is probably current fashions today.
Okay.
And it was popular 100 years ago.
And Eileen Webster will do the honors as we take a trip to the little house on the prairie. How about that? Take it away,
Well
Eileen.
said. Okay. First we have Nikki McGinnis, all decked out for an evening of dancing at the local trading fort. The fort often served as the social center of frontier neighborhoods. Next, we have Nan Berninger, looking fresh as a daisy, waiting to catch the stagecoach. She's heading into town for a day of shopping and to socialize with her fellow man.
Her name is Nan?
Yes.
Daisy. I like that. Fresh as a daisy, Nan. Okay, we're traveling the prairie.
Okay. Even the fancifully clad coquettes from back east wouldn't defer an admiring glance from Michelle Ross in this simple country frock. Thank you, Michelle. Although the daily demands of wilderness life necessitated austere clothing designs, a frontier woman could maintain her own honest beauty, as evidenced here by model Bridget Bradley. Thank you, Bridget. As the wagon train halts for a night's rest, Glenna Abel is prepared to dance under the stars to the winsome strains of a fiddle player. Thank you, Glenna. Sasha White is packed and ready for a trip on the Union Pacific Railroad, referred to in the 1860s as the modern ship of the plains. Thank you, Sasha. Homespun outfits, such as this one, worn by Jeannie White, became the norm for most women on the remote frontier. There was a tremendous markup on the prices of clothes that were shipped from back east. Thank you, Jeannie. Dressed in this cheerful prairie frock, Laura Grail would make a pretty addition to any photograph of God's country, which was the term real estate developers used to describe frontier lands for sale. Thank you, Laura. Tammy Martin is dressed for a delightful day of partying and picnicking at the annual county fair. The event offered farmers and their families a welcome respite from their daily chores. Thank you, Tammy. All 11-year-old Lisa Varney needs is a horn book and a primer to look the part of a typical prairie schoolgirl on her way to class. Thank you, Lisa. Yesterday becomes today in fashion, as demonstrated here by Jackie Delafrange. Jackie's cowgirl outfit, functional in the 1800s, is still the favorite casual wear for modern times. Thank you, Jackie. Dee Delafrange's snappy Western ensemble would also blend easily with today's trends. From head to toe, she represents a totally together bridge from the past to the present. Thank you, Dee. Now, As the country cover girl models gather together, they make a lovely collective sight. The background music was composed and arranged by Cliff Adam and Lee Marcus.
Let's hear it for these pretty prairie lassies.
Cowboys, they hang out on the prairie. They're wired and looking all around. They hang out in the morning when the sun burns on down. The cowboy is tired in the evening when coyotes they howl their sweet song. The cowboy is working all the time now. He never has time to get along. Just a right cowboy, right along till your work gets done. Keep on riding, cowboy. The cowboy keeps on rolling on. He's riding on. Cowboy is trucking in the nighttime, looking for some ladies around. He's riding up and down in his pickup truck to find some honey to settle down. Well, now, ride, cowboy, get along and find your lady friend. Come on.
that thing out of my face. Chew. Gum. Candy. Razor. And I think so. Can I chew on the backy? How about you?
Green stamps?
Get him out of here. I didn't tell you to put your hands up. Put your hands up.
But he's big in ability. And I don't know why they call him the Little Demon, because he's a full-size devil, this one is. Has a way of spinning and attempting to put the cowboy down off from his back. They ride with a bull rope wrapped around the four quarters of the animal. It's not tied or snapped in place. It's held in place with the pressure of the hand alone. And our cowboy is getting set to go. As our other cowboys are helping him pull his rope, I think we're just about ready to nod our head. Get him between your knees, cowboy, and let him sneeze. The harder they buck, the tighter you squeeze, and the higher they go, the sweeter the breeze. Glenn Fox aboard the Little Demon. Shoot number 4. Here we go. Riding, cowboy. Go with him. What do you say? All the way. All right. Yeah, and there's the spin. Watch out. He's on up. Get to him, boys. Oh, he's safely away.
Doug, Daisy Church.
There you go. Then you safely fend away. Thank you, Doug, for finally trying on our bull riding event today. You know, the American cowboy and cowgirl are justifiably proud of their ability as horsemen. One of the ways of showing that ability was in trick and fancy riding. Here now, the next exhibition of trick riding is Ladies Center. And it's all sorts. Usually horse trick riding, because you'll notice that the beautiful white horse will be running without control of the rider. When he makes his runs, here we go with Buck Ross. Back and forth across the line of the running horse, high over the saddle, and that's running on the front. Oh, sweet away, here we go with Roy Overview. So the little sidewalk, falling this high horse there, off and back in the saddle, and hits the ground high in the air, high up in the air, here we go, and right back to the saddle. All right, Dave. Run down the bridge. Let's see what Dave has in store for us this time. Acrobatic stunts on the back of a running horse, and here he goes with a bump and a somersault backwards on the neck. The ball slipped to the neck, and right back to the saddle we go. This next one requires a lot of balance, a lot of skill, and a lot of ability. A lot of change to hit the big drive into the sky. In the show. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. tell you boys, you won't be getting nothing to drink out of that saloon called it's closed.
That saloon's closed. Why did I just see two men come walking out of there?
Your man you saw come out of there, Clanton, was the coroner and the undertaker. We had a shooting scrape in there a while ago. Now one cowboy's laying dead and another one's locked up in the jail. Don't want any more trouble in town today.
There won't be no trouble if you'll just get out of our way.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys, me and the sheriff ain't going no place. But if you boys are wanting to drink that bad, get on those two horses and ride them on back down there to the river and get you a drink.
The river ain't fit for a hot gun. You both.
I feel like it'd be plenty good enough for a couple of pistol-slinging saddle tramps like you. Think about it. That saloon's closed, I told you.
Ah, never mind. Come on.
Hold it, boys!
What do you want now, Sheriff?
Sorry to disappoint you, but the hotel's closed, too.
Yeah, I bet it is. Because everything in this stinking town is closed.
Yeah, everything in this town's closed for you, Clanton.
Yeah, what's wrong with us, Clint?
What I'd like to know just what's good about you, Clanton.
Pretty good with these 6-gun right here.
Yeah, I heard how good y'all them 6 guns when you shot the marshal in Silver City in the back the other day.
I didn't shoot no marshal in the back.
Yeah. He's the one that did it, Marshal. You shot him in the back, didn't you?
Not my fault he was too slow to turn around.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, boys, if you want to drink that bad, if you'll take those guns and hang them in the jail, we might find you a drink.
There's only one place I'd be willing to hang my belt, Marshal, and that's around your neck! You're tired on it!
I'll tell you what, there's a lot tougher gunslingers than you tried it. They're all out there in Boot Hill. But just like the sheriff said, we're not going to have any more trouble here in Frontier Town today. So you keep those guns in those holsters, get on those 2 horses, and both of you out of town. If you ever come riding back through Frontier Town, don't be wearing those guns. Yeah, looks like you might leave. I wouldn't trust them, Mark. Watch your clothes. Hey!
Officially underway, strictly according to the very confusing laws of the territory of New York. And here we go. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to join together this man and this woman in the bonds of holy smokes, I've got the wrong page.
Well, Judge, I sure am glad you had the wrong page because we don't want to marry this outlaw. We want to hang him.
Well, it don't make any difference. Either way he goes, he's stuck.
Well, that's true, too.
Are you going to split the profits with the kindly judge?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, how are we going to split?
Right down the middle. 50-50, that's fair.
Boys, let's improve his mathematics a little.
75-25.
Well, now that's a little better.
And here they come, the troopers under the command of Colonel Cuthbert.
not? It's just water and the peas, a nice big potato, big carrot, a big onion, because men like onions, and me too.
Yeah.
And I put basil and thyme, a bay leaf, celery seed, and a little pepper. And I more or less leave the salt up to people because today everybody's on the salt.
Right, yeah.
So,
which is wise. Nowadays. They can put their own And then, do you like chop up the carrot or not? You just put
oh, I chop it all up fine with my old antique chopping
like
bowl
and
my chopper over there.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I was wondering what you felt about this place here, Frontier Town.
Well, I've got to say, I'm enjoying this very much. I'd heard a lot about it from friends of mine who recommended that I come up, and even though they gave it glowing reports, I'm still pleasantly surprised. It offers entertainment for the whole family. I mean, people of any ages would enjoy it here. It's good, wholesome, all-American fun. And it's not just a theme park, it's not just for entertainment, there's an educational value here also. And it has programmed entertainment that you get to see. You follow a schedule. You really feel like you've stepped back into the pioneer days here. And it's a part of living history that is coming to life now. And I'm going to go back home and tell all my friends that it's well worth every penny. And I'm looking forward to coming back next year also.
Mountainside here at Frontier Town, a restaurant that is available for a 3-year lease. And just check out the views that are here. Look at this mountain range and everything around you. This is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Down here we have the restaurant. I'm going to come up a little closer and give you a better shot of the restaurant. Coming down on the restaurant here. This lodge and restaurant, it's got everything fully equipped. Kitchen, everything, utilities, everything. Right here in the middle of God's country. Gorgeous. Surrounded by beautiful mountain ranges. In the summer, for all the tourists coming from Canada, straight on down through New York, Albany, into Connecticut. In the winter, you got all the skiers and everybody coming up here to Lake Placid. And it's just gorgeous. You get to see not only one of these fantastic, majestic views that we have here of the countryside, but we get to see this beautiful motel that's owned here by Frontier Town. You get your panoramic view of how big this motel in particular is here. This is one of the extra added features that we have here in Frontier Town.
So what do you like? What are you proud of? What do you like the best at Frontier Town? Name besides the fashions.
At Frontier Town, I like everything there because it's a family-oriented park, and we have a lot of excitement there in the street. I'm the marshal, and I keep law and order there. We have the Clanton boys. They generally show up there every morning wanting to drink out of the Last Chance Saloon, and I have to put a little curve in there.
Now, how do we get there? I want to go there one day.
Well, to get to Frontier Town, it's approximately 4 hours from the New York metropolitan area. You'd go right up the New York State Thruway to Albany, get on Interstate 87,
yeah,
and get off at exit 29.
I'd like to see his eyes, right?
The way we open our park, our theme park, when you come into Frontier Town, you get on the train, ride into town. That's the only way to get into the Frontier Town theme park is on a train. We have 2 trains running about every 10 minutes apart, and when they're robbed going into town, of course, every now and then we put a little stop to that, a little surprise to the passengers on the train. Maybe I might ride out and shoot one of those outlaws. And then when they come into town, they've got a lot of action on the street with gunfights. Also, we have a professional rodeo there twice a day.
You know what this man is doing? This man is bringing back what used to be so big, Michael, in television and in movies. In the early days of TV, 85% of the programs were Westerns. Good man to know, especially with that gun.
I'll tell you what, and like I was saying, the action, we have Indians, we have the Custer's Last 7th, Cavalry. It's a complete theme. When you get off the train, it's just like you're living in the 1800s.
And never in the history of American motion pictures has the cavalry gotten there late, right?
No, I'll tell you what, once in a while, these Indians that we're after are pretty fast because they never caught them yet.
Thank you, Joe.
Frontier Town, and second,
Hoboken. Thank you,
Right.
Joe.
and long live Secaucus, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The raucous in Secaucus.
We'll be out here shooting them up next weekend.
Promise?
Yes.
But using blanks.
Yes.
Have a good everything.